Alright, as you can see, I'm dressed as a chef, so this will be my world record attempt for tomorrow's Carthage Marathon in Tunisia. So I thought it would be a good chance to talk about carb loading before the marathon as well. But first of all, we'll just have a quick chat about what I need tomorrow to get the world record. The Guinness World Record requirements for a chef uniform is patterned trousers, there we go, jacket, apron, hat, and you need a utensil which weighs at least 3 kilograms. So that can be a pan or pot. In my case, I've gone for a wok. So this weighs 3.2 kilograms, that's 7 pounds. And the rule of thumb in marathon running is that every pound heavier you are, that will be about 1 minute over the course of the race. So that means it's going to slow me down by 7 minutes. But I think it might be a little bit more because it's going to be kind of awkward. It's not just like weighing 7 pounds more. It's just, it's going to make it difficult. I can't really use my arms going up hills, which is a lot. It's actually quite a hilly course. It's actually the first hilly course I've done this year, so I've done well to avoid them. So it's going to be quite tough. The record at the moment is 3 hours 22 minutes and 27 seconds. So it's a bit of an unknown, like a lot of records. I don't know how much it's going to slow me down. Having to wear the costume as well, the chef's uniform. It will be a little bit hotter, but luckily it's quite cool here right now. So the top temperature will be 14 degrees tomorrow, but in the morning it will be a little bit cooler. And I'll show you outside. You can see it's really windy out there as well. So that's not going to help either. So I'm not sure. I think this can be maybe like a 50-50 one, so I'm not too sure if we'll get there or not. But anyway, let's get on to talking about carb loading. First of all, I'm going to quash a myth. A lot of people think carb loading is just stuffing yourself with as much pasta as you can. That's not right at all. If you think of yourself as the fuel tank of a car, say you've got a 50-litre fuel tank, if you try and fit 100 litres of fuel in there, it just doesn't work out. There's only so much carbohydrates that your body can take, and you don't need to eat a lot to fill up your tank. Why do we carb load? Basically, when your body takes in carbohydrates, it becomes glycogen, and that's the body's way of fueling you. So you can run without any glycogen in your system, but you'll just be burning fat, which is pretty much an endless supply in your body. However, that's very inefficient, so you're going to run a lot slower than you should be. It takes most people around about an hour and a half to 2 hours to burn through the glycogen, but it does depend on how much effort you're putting in. So if you are going at a little bit of a slower pace, it may take a bit longer than 2 hours before you go through it all. That means if you're doing a shorter race like a 5 or a 10k, there's no point in carb loading. It will do absolutely nothing for you. You should start carb loading at least 2 days before the race, ideally 3, and it's recommended you take 10 grams of carbs per every kilo. So in my case, I'm just over 70 kilos, so that will mean about 700 grams of carbs every day before the race. Everyone knows that pasta and rice are a great source of carbohydrate, but there's plenty of other options as well. Some alternatives are bread, pancakes, fruit, and soft drink. When you're on the road and don't have access to cooking facilities, it's still really easy to carb load. So here's some of the things that I use. An easy option is just having sandwiches. So I've got some bread rolls here and some jam, which are both high in carbohydrates. You can snack on Haribo. This little bag here, it's only got 80 grams, but that has about 10% of the carbohydrates that I need per day. And these bananas, they have around about 10% as well. You can also stay hydrated by sipping on soft drink and Gatorade. So you might not normally do it, but as it's only a few days, as long as you don't go overboard, it'll be no problem at all. If you're not sure which foods are good for carb loading, just have a look at the label on the back of the packet. You're never going to get better than a ratio of around about 1 to 4. So that means if there's 100 calories, you're looking for around about 20 to 25 grams of carbohydrates. Just remember, the plan isn't to stuff yourself, just eat normal amounts, but make sure that they're higher in carbohydrates than your normal meals. I hope that was interesting. If you like that and like to see more, or you have any questions about carb loading, comment down below. And make sure you keep an eye out for my next video. That's going to be the race day vlog for the Carthage Marathon.